Three, two, one, cut.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here in downtown Pensacola. We just did a ribbon cutting here at the Celestine Bed and Breakfast. Now, this place is absolutely amazing. I'm here with the owners and operators of the bed and breakfast. This is Gerald Robinson and Cornelia Robinson Edwards, along with Gerald's two lovely daughters. I think they run the place too. But we're going to find out more about them. We're going to find out more about the Celestine Bed and Breakfast and all that it has to offer. You do not want to miss coming and checking this place out. And absolutely, if you have an opportunity, you need to stay in this bed and breakfast just for a unique and enriched experience in downtown Pensacola. So let's jump into it. First, we're going to start off Gerald Robinson and then Cornelia Robinson Edwards. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your family, and then we'll talk about the bed and breakfast.
Yes, so again, my name is Gerald Robinson. These are my two daughters, Simone and Layla Robinson. We travel here from Virginia. However, I am originally from Pensacola as well. So I grew up in this neighborhood, wanted to come back and give something back to the community. And I think this is the perfect way to do it by way of the bed and breakfast, named after our great grandparents, which we both knew up until a very older age growing up.
Yeah, that's right. Um, I was born here in Pensacola. I'm a Pensacolian now, so left for a few years and circled back home. And there's no other place in the world that I'd rather be than right here at home, doing something that we think is pretty special and being able to extend what we grew up with to the community at large.
That is lovely. And I totally understand about leaving and coming back. I myself moved away from Pensacola to find bigger and better. I only found bigger. It wasn't better. And I came back to my roots. So I love it here in Pensacola. Well, we are sure glad that you all came back and that you came down here. And this is something that is giving back to the community because this is not just a house. There is so much. There is culture, there is history, there is story, family, all enveloped into a business, which is this warm and inviting bed and breakfast. And the place is amazing. Along with its decor, you are able to make it warm and inviting as well as bright, colorful, and vibrant at the same time without losing the historical context of the house, which is fantastic. You didn't modernize it where it didn't need to be modernized, and you kept all of the historic accents and even brought some out that were covered up when you went through the renovation of the place. So let's jump into it and let's talk about just the spaces and what it has to offer, just because this is such a unique experience.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you used the word experience because that's what we really think of as at the Celestine Bed and Breakfast. We think that, this is an experience for our guests, and we curate experiences. We meet guests where they are, and we try to refine that experience to exceed their expectations. So from the moment that they walk up and are greeted at the front door, till the moment that they're leaving. And for many of our guests, we really stay in touch with them. So it's like they become an extension of our family.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Now, you were talking about walking through the front door. As soon as you walk in through the front door, you can already see some of those touches of history and family in the wallpaper, which is awesome. You have some custom made, tasteful wallpaper that is all along the wall. I don't know, it looks like it towers up maybe 30, 40 feet above you. I'm not sure what the height is, but it goes all the way up the stairwell. Tell us about some of the details that are in the wallpaper.
So the central image of the wallpaper is a picture of our great grandmother. Her name was Celestine. She was born here in Pensacola in 1908. And she's sitting, on a chair just like this one with a little purse next to her. And then right behind her is a tree. And that's a big oak tree that we grew up with, our parents grew up with, my grandmother and our aunts and uncles grew up with that tree. And it was in front of our great grandparents' home up until just this Monday when it unfortunately had to come down just because of the age of it.
Yeah.
It had rotted,
Mm.
but the thing that I think about with that tree is it really is representative of what our great grandmother did in terms of being able to plant seeds. And then you may not get a chance to experience the shade from the tree, but she created the shade. So, in many ways, when we think of Celestine Bed and Breakfast, what we've done, she laid the foundation for, she created the vision that we walked into and brought to fruition. And so that's the central image of the wallpaper. And then from there, we've got vignettes all over the wallpaper. It's based on a French toile. Really, none of the fabrics that we saw and the wallpapers that we saw resonated with our family, and so we said, well, why don't we just make our own? And that's
Yeah.
how it started. But there's an image of the day that Sacred Heart Hospital opened up. We have family members who were born in the old Sacred Heart Hospital. I actually went to ballet at the old Sacred Heart Hospital when I was their age. And then we've got a tree from the middle of Seville Square. We've got images of our great great grandmother, our great grandfather. Our Uncle Horace and Aunt Mary were involved in the sit ins in downtown Pensacola. And so we've got a newspaper article from the day that they were arrested. They were only 15 and 17. And we also have an image of Crest Department Store, which is one of the 3 department stores that was a part of the where the students were involved in the sit-ins. And then we also have the sign that was erected in 2015. And both of them had a chance to sit in the middle of Palafox Street and see the ribbon cutting for the sign that was erected all those years later, in honor of their courage and their strength and their foresight and their vision, which is a part of the reason that we're here. And so the wallpaper has lots of stories, and we're happy
Yeah.
to be able to share them.
So the reason why I just kind of focused in on that at first was because I feel like that what is in that wallpaper right as you walk in, just that snapshot right there kind of encapsulates what the Celestine Bed and Breakfast is just in a snapshot. And so you have family, you have story, you have history, you have heart, and just how it all brings it together. The room that we're sitting in right now is actually was it supposed to be a representation of Celestine? Is that correct? This is the Celestine room. This paint color that you see was her favorite color, and what's great about it is the next room over is representative of another family member, correct? And who is that?
And when I say it, I always tell people it's not just my Southern accent, it's Vandybilt.
Yeah.
So it's Vanderbilt,
Not Vanderbilt,
not
right?
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our great grandfather's name was Vanderbilt, and his nickname was Buster.
Okay.
He drove the truck for Gulf Cleaners,
Right.
which was in the Belmont de Villers area. His sister's his sister's husband, owned that cleaners, so Gulf
Oh, okay.
Cleaners.
All right. Great.
And so they serviced a lot of community members in North Hill and other areas around Pensacola, but everybody knew him by Buster. So Buster's room, or Granny Harrison's room, Vanderbilt's room, that's the room we're looking into. And so Celestine and Vanderbilt are together right here with these 2 rooms. And they're designed to complement each other. And there are original pocket doors that separate the rooms, but also bring the rooms together. And so when you're sitting in one room and looking at the other, you can see that they work together, they complement each other. They're better together, but they also stand on their own. So when we close the pocket doors, each room is substantive in and of itself.
So, as I continue in this interview with you all and I'm focusing on these items, the reason why is because anyone who's watching right now in the audience, I want you to know that there's so much story and so much heart that's built into this whole home. We've only made it past 2 rooms, and we've learned so much about your family, which is phenomenal. Now, as we move into the bed spaces, how many rooms do you all have?
There are a total of 4 rooms.
Okay.
And each of them are named after our great grandparents' children, including our grandmother, Lois. Right. And one of those rooms is a suite, and it's
Okay.
got 2 rooms, so that's how you get the 5 children incorporated.
Got you.
So on the first floor, we've got the Horace room, named after our great uncle Horace. He actually desegregated Pensacola High School. He was one of 4 students.
Oh, okay, great.
And he was the first black male to graduate from Pensacola High School.
All right.
And then on the second floor, you've got the Lois room.
Mhm.
It has a soaking tub and a beautiful chandelier in the middle of the room. And then you have the Mary room. It's very sophisticated with earth tone colors. And then the James and Jean suite is our most spacious room. It's each of the rooms have their own bathrooms. The James and Jean suite, it starts with the James room. It has a talking machine that's got Bluetooth connected to it. Yeah, Uncle James, we called him Bebe. He was a lot of fun. He loved to dance. He was a socialite.
Yeah.
He was handsome. I heard that when he was younger, all girls loved him.
Yeah.
And so we tried to bring that vibe into that room. There's a picture. There's a moose that's on the wall that's got glasses and a cigar. And then when you walk into the next room, it's the Jean room. Jean lived to be 80 years old, and she never stayed in the home by herself at night. So we thought it was only fitting to have those 2 rooms together, and that's how we came up with the James and Jean suite.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what a talking machine is, it is actually a console piece of furniture, and then inside of it there's a phonograph. Now, this phonograph, I believe, does not work, but right behind the phonograph is an integrated switch with some dials, and she was saying that it's Bluetooth, so there's not a noticeable Bluetooth speaker, but there's this antique piece of furniture that just happened to be retrofitted to where you can hook, your music into it if you're staying in that suite room. And so even though there are the creature comforts of technology, you didn't let it take away from the flavor and the style of the room, but instead of you just kind of added to it and accentuated it. I would say that the only piece of technology that I saw in each of the rooms was a television, and so you still, if you want to stay at the bed and breakfast, you have an opportunity to still take in some media, but you can also turn it off and just enjoy everything around it. That's beautiful that you all have put in here. Now, you also have an event space available, which is on the property. So in the backyard, talk a little bit about the event space that you have.
Yeah, so we have indoor-outdoor event space between the bottom floor, as well as the common area in the back. It's a beautiful back lawn. It's fenced in, and it also has stone seating that goes around the corner, the left corner. What we love about it is that it's a blank canvas. And so you can transform it into whatever you want to. We got married, my husband and I got married here in October. And it was just absolutely beautiful. 150 people, and then we had a clear tent. We're able to also use the parking lot and take advantage because we've got a really nice large parking lot. So we had that tinted clear tent and floral chandeliers, and it was just nice to have all of our guests here. It was amazing to be able to wake up and not have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So the members of my bridal party stayed here. And then we got up in the morning and just relaxed into the day. There was nowhere to go. Everybody came to us, and it just made for a really great day.
Yeah, so there's adequate parking, which is great because you don't have to park on the street if you're going to stay at this bed and breakfast, which you don't realize how much of a difference that makes until you stay in a downtown residence and then you have to park on the street, 2 blocks away or a block away to try to stay. But you have adequate parking for your lodging, which is wonderful, which, like you said, can be converted into the event space. Okay, so what does the experience look like for someone who's going to stay in? Because it's called a bed and breakfast. So that means it's not just a hotel room. This is so much more. You're actually getting an experience. So, what does the checkout process or the check-in process look like? And what does that look like when it comes to the breakfast part of it?
So from the moment that you arrive, we usually have a brief conversation ahead of time, so we understand what it is that you're here for, what your preferences are, whether you have allergies or aversions to certain foods, and Are you celebrating something? We want to know all of
Right.
those little details
Right.
so that we can really tune into those details. And so when you arrive on the front porch, you're greeted by us. We bring you into the Vanderbilt room. We talk a little bit about the history of the home and the renovation process. We usually have something for our guests to snack on. We always have a signature drink, and that changes depending on the day and also depending on the preferences of our guests. But our guests love that little touch.
Uh-huh.
It says that we've prepared for you and we're excited to see you. And that's one of the things that we've tried to do is incorporate some of our favorite things that we've experienced at different properties and different places around the world. And so that's where it starts. And then if people want a tour, we always give a tour. But again, we try to meet people where they are. Some
Sure.
people are running in
Yeah.
and it's like, hey, I'm going to this event. I just got to get dressed and be on my way. Some people want to sit and talk for a while. Sometimes people want dinner reservations. They either want us to make their reservations or they just want a list of, hey, where are the places that I've got to go?
Sure.
And we listen to what they want and then we come up with a list specifically for them. We show them to their room, and then from there, they're on their way to do whatever they'd like to do in the city, or even to just sit and enjoy, drink lemonade on the front porch,
Yeah.
sit in the kitchen, have conversations, and they wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, and they get to experience a nice hot breakfast with great music in the background and really good conversation around the table.
I love it. So again, just really focusing on this grand experience. I encourage anyone who is looking for just a time to get away, and I'm talking to locals, not just someone who is coming in from out of town, trying to find a special place to stay. But hey, if you want to do a little staycation, this is a nice place to get away if you're alone, or maybe if you want to have a romantic weekend with a loved one. This is a fantastic place to get away, from the grind and have an opportunity to enjoy downtown Pensacola. You're within walking distance of the market that's right on Palafox and the rest of downtown. This street is Balin, is that
This is
correct? Yeah,
Balin, yep,
Balin Street.
1 block from Palafox Street.
Yeah, so within walking distance of all of the great things, but I don't know, you might come in here and just want to hang out in the house. So that's another possibility. So, what is the best way for people to find out more if they want to get more information, or if they are ready to book a room and get ready to enjoy this experience?
CelestineBedandBreakfast.com.
Okay.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram. So follow us, like us, share on social media. And we really look forward to inviting guests from near and far. We've had guests from as close as downtown Pensacola and as far away as Japan. We've had guests visit us from the UK, from
Mhm.
Canada. And I think the thing that's most exciting is that we not only get to share our stories, but we get to hear theirs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's an exchange. It really is. Um, we have a lot more friends than when we started because everybody who comes in, they leave as a friend.
Yeah.
Um, and it's also been really neat to see people connect with each other.
Mm.
Different couples who are staying here, they
Sure.
get to
Sure.
talking and realizing that, they have a lot of things that are similar. We also have learned that even people's differences bring them together around the table with food,
Right. Right.
good conversations, and it's just really special.
Sure.
We've had amazing guests. And so, as much as we created an experience for them, they have also created an experience for us.
I love it. I love it. All right, great. Well, everyone, we're like I said, we're here in downtown Pensacola, right on Balin Street. I'm here with Gerald Robinson and Cornelia Robinson Edwards, and they've really made an imprint in downtown Pensacola, and this is somewhere that you have to come check out. So be sure to visit CelestineBedandBreakfast.com to find out more information and to get ready and book your stay. So, just before we go, Gerald and Cornelia, do you have anything that you'd like to say to our followers and our audience?
What would you like to say,
Ladies
brother?
first.
Ladies first. Okay. um, Well, I would just say to the Pensacola community, thank you so much for embracing us with open arms. It's been such a wonderful experience to be here, to be home, and to do something special, unique in our hometown. And so definitely come through. Thanks for the continued support, and we look forward to creating an experience for you.
Very great.
I'll piggyback off Cornelia. Thank you guys for all the support and love over these past 2.5 years, helping this come to fruition. It's been a all hands on deck type of operation, and we just look forward to hosting everyone who comes from near and far. And let's continue to spread the good news about what we have going here. Thank you very much.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much for inviting us. Welcome to the Pensacola Chamber. We
Thank
sure have
you.
had such a wonderful time learning about the space, learning about you all and your family and the history and all of that. So, all right, everyone, be sure to come visit. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.